Diane in Denmark here. Ho, ho, ho. It is the 3rd of December. I hope you're fine and well this Tuesday morning. I'm carrying on where I left off yesterday. Yesterday you saw me in Flylady Zone 1. I just brought a box up from the basement and I started with a spot of decorating. Now I will be walking you through the Flylady's real countdown to Christmas missions. We did the normal missions from October through November, and now we're into the super missions. And yesterday's super mission was just decorating for 10 or 15 minutes, not worrying about it all having to look perfect and to get every ornament out of the attic or out of the basement, but just do a little bit, just to bring us into the spirit, like Rudolph here. And today's mission is all about, looking out linens. Maybe you've got guests coming and you have to change the sheets in the guest bedroom. I've got some linens in here, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you what's in my box for the kitchen. I've already started decorating here, but I thought I would just talk you through it, take you along with me, maybe a wee walk down memory lane as we go, and also explain to you a wee bit about our candles, because I get so many questions about the candles that we have here in Denmark. It's a really important part of Christmas for us. And if you missed my real Christmassy videos about life in Denmark, I made one on Friday and one on Sunday. Friday was all about the kind of little experience or activity that we do every day in the month of December, and on Sunday I did 5 things that for me it's just not Christmas without those little traditions. Anyway, let's get started. And also I've got a tea calendar to show you, and a tea advent calendar. Anyway, as I said, I've got a few things out already. Advent calendar candle, we burn this at breakfast and at dinner, and generally speaking it lasts for about an hour a day. You can see the numbers are there. You can get all different types. I like the ones inside the glass holder because it's easier to burn down. The small thin advent calendar candles can kind of topple, and so for safety reasons I like these ones. So this one goes over here on the breakfast table, and also we have this one. Now this one is from a Danish company called Ib Laursen. And remember, I never do affiliate links, and you're probably not going to find it where you are. But I know a lot of you have made your own. This is the one, it's just a jar with a lid which has got a candle holder on it. So you could make one yourself. I mean, you could super glue something to the top of a jar. And in the jar I've got the candles numbered from 1 to 24. Remember, in Denmark we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, on Christmas Eve, and also a bit on Christmas Day. And that was the one that I burnt yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my candles in the morning and in the evening. So today we are going for number 3. So let me just put that one there. Number 3 is ready to go. And this one just normally sits beside my sink, or something, when I'm cooking dinner in the evening, I often get it lit. Oh, and also you may have noticed in my Instagram posts, I usually keep some clementines or things beside the sink, and you can go a bit mad with cloves. I've started on this one. This one says jul, which is the Danish word for Christmas, and then in the next one I'll probably write go, God, which means good or merry. Then I'll say go jul, and there's my wee sparrows that I got from Vibeke for my Christmas last year, they're always on my kitchen sink. And also I've got Nissen Niels, who was a new addition last year. Was it last year or the year before? And he sits beside my sink as well. And sometimes his hat is up, and sometimes it's curly, and sometimes it's down. And these are all the things that I've already put out. This was my new little holder that I got this year from the Swedish thrift shop. I love to buy all my things used, or get them at clothes swaps. My blouse today is one that you'll maybe remember from, I think 2 years ago, from a Swedish charity shop. And my little cardigan, this was a clothes swap item. Oh, and I've also got my thermal trousers on today because it is well below freezing, and I'm going to be out on my bike a lot today, so that's why I've got my thermal trousers on. Right, coming around here, you know, my kids are 17 and 19, but I always buy them one of those kind of kitsch chocolate calendars. And this is one of the ones for this year. Let me just show you the other one. They're pretty silly. Okay, so this is the overly sweet sentimental one with the cats on it. And the other one is one of these LOL, I don't know if you know the LOL dolls, they're quite popular with kids here. But it says, work it baby, and it'll put a sash in it. It's a very, very weird for an advent calendar. Anyway, the kids get their little chocolate in the morning. It's just a fun thing we do. Right, and let's get into the box. And as I said in my video yesterday, I like to use the clear ones in the base, and then I can see what I've got in them. And also, I don't need to have a red box because I've actually been decluttering so much that I've gone from like 7 boxes to 6 boxes to 5 boxes. I think I've got 4 boxes now. And then I can use the boxes for other stuff instead of having like a red box that kind of screams Christmas at me. So in this one, but I just mark them with what's in it. So in here I've got kitchen, candles, serviettes, linens, and punt. Punt is a Danish word just for various decorations. And I've already been into this box, you know, taking out some of the small decorations. Also this one, you may have seen this already on Instagram. This belonged to my dearly departed Danish father-in-law, and it's a little reindeer Rudolph from the, oh, he doesn't have a red nose, but we call him Rudolph. I don't know when he's from, but you can see he's very kind of old, but you know, I like these things, if they look a bit kind of past their best and getting a wee bit dirty, it's just because they've been loved so much. So anyway, you always see him around my sink somewhere. Right, I have a couple of these baskets. These are really useful if I'm taking any kind of cookies or sweets or something, or you know, rolls for any kind of potluck or party that we're going to at Christmas, or the kids have to take something in for breakfast at school. And on that note, I have lots of recipes on my recipes and crafts playlist. I made chocolate fudge yesterday, this super simple chocolate fudge that takes like 5 minutes to make. We made that yesterday, and the kids at the weekend, they made a peewerniller, the small peewerniller. Oh, hold on, I'll show you the peewerniller. Right, these are peewerniller, traditional biscuit that we have at Christmas, and you can also play a game with the peewerniller, which is called Mouse. Anyway, as I said, there's a video for that on my recipes and crafts playlist. So anyway, those I'll be using this year. This is a sampler thing that my husband, my Danish husband, he did this many years ago, and I keep it rolled around an old toilet roll, that way it keeps its shape and doesn't get squashed. And this one hangs in the kitchen beside the clock. And can you imagine that my husband sat making this when he was a child? And I actually made the same one, and I made one for my mum. And I'll see if I can dig out, when we're over at Mum's house, I'll see if I can dig out a picture of it. So there we are. See that one? So that one always hangs up, and you can see you've got the candle, the tree with the real lights on it, and of course hearts. As I've mentioned, hearts are a really big thing in Danish Christmas. I'll pop that one here, so that one's going to go up. And last year I bought at a Swedish Christmas market. I made a video about that as well. I made so many videos, I've lost count how many videos I've made, but it's on the Christmas playlist, and it's also on the Life in Denmark and Travel playlist. I bought this one at the bazaar of the Swedish church in Copenhagen, and I hang this one above the lights here. Hold on, let me show you. And okay, I just jumped up and hung it up there. And last year I had hung on the other lamp, I'd hung my big rolling pin, but this year, when I was at another Swedish charity shop, the one close to our summer house, I found a similar wooden spoon, and wooden spoons are really, really popular here in Denmark. We have these huge portions of rice pudding, also a recipe on the playlist for that. And the traditional thing is to have this big, huge spoon, as if you're a big giant eating your risengulv, your rice pudding. So what I'm going to do is I've brought up some ribbon again from downstairs, and I'm going to hang them up. So I've got 2 wooden spoons this year. Okay, let's see what else we've got in the box. Right, next up are my kitchen towels, hand towels and tea towels. I put out a fresh tea towel and hand towel every day when I've finished doing my Flylady evening routine, and I've already started using some of my Christmas ones. You may have noticed that. And what I've done with the usual ones that I use, as soon as I've laundered them downstairs, I've just KonMari'd them as usual and popped them in this bag, and they're going to stay in the box until Christmas is over and I stop using those ones, and these come back out and these are ready to go. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm switching over all the usual tea towels and hand towels that I've got. The tea towels are, you know, the cotton ones, and I don't know why I get a lot of questions about it, but anyway, I'll tell you why. The cotton ones, we use them for, you know, drying pots and pans or anything, and then at the end of the day I just use it to wipe out my sink, and then everything goes in the wash. And obviously the little terry towels are for hands, so that's what those are. So those are coming out today, the whole lot of them. And what else have I got in here? Oh, there's another one, hold on. This one got lost from its friends. Right, in here I have, oh, can you hear Santa coming? Can you hear sleigh bells? Right, these are cookie cutters, and we never use these. We only use these at Christmas, so I've got them in my Christmas box. But you know, my kids are so big now, and we never ever do any kind of weird shapes and stuff. So I'm thinking that what I'll do is, let's do a quick declutter right here, right now. Won't take long. Let's do, and remember, if you find stuff in your Christmas boxes, when you take it out, if you're not going to use it and you know you're not going to use it again, let's just put it in a bag and get it donated right now. Okay, I've got one which is a dress for like a princess, I think it was. Was that one? Is that a dress? Yes, must be a dress. Okay, that one I'm not keeping. So I'll put anything that I'm not keeping in the bag. Because this is the time of year that the charity shop or friends or whatever are looking for these things. Okay, a star I will keep, because we do sometimes do stars. The wee angel, no, can go. A dog, woof woof, no, that can go. Christmas tree I'll keep. The Santa Claus, I don't think it even looks like a proper Santa Claus thing. And I find that with cutters, if I like, you know, the easy shape of it, I'm not keeping them in. If I like I'm not keeping the bell. If I like the shape of them, and it's a really recognisable shape without having to start doing icing and drawing onto it, that's okay. But the more intricate ones where you actually have to do some icing, you know, a couple of eyes and a nose, or start drawing details, that's just, that's not me. I haven't got the patience for that. Right, let's get them all off this one, and then I can see what's keeping. Right, well, hearts and stars, I'll keep those. Also, I like these ones because we do have our friends who come over for a Christmas dinner, and it's not Christmas until they come over for dinner. Oh, I've got a round one, don't need that. Musical note, anybody? And when they come here, quite often I've got some cookie dough already made up. And then, you know, we just kind of roll it out and the kids can go mad with cutting things out. But we don't need to have those weird shapes going on. But I'll keep any of the stars and hearts. That's okay. Oh, and a little tiny one. Because sometimes we use those for cutting out, you know, like fudge or any of the marzipan sweets. We make a lot of marzipan sweets ourselves. Shooting star. No, I don't want that one. And we have, this is quite a fun one. Well, I'll keep the big Christmas tree. Okay. And then I have one that you can make into a flag. I think I'll keep that because I can, you know, kind of do it with icing and do the, luckily in Scotland and in Denmark we have really easy flags. You know, the Scottish flag is the blue the white cross on a blue background, and the Danish one is a white cross the other way on a red background. So I will keep that one. That's one kind of weird, not Christmas shape I'll keep. A rocket, let me rock it to you. Or I don't know, I suppose you could kind of make that into a fish. And last one is a heart. Yeah, I'm going to keep a heart. You can never have too many hearts. Okay, so this is what I'm going to keep. And all these I am going to donate. And I tell you what, I know it's going to make a noise, but I'm going to put all these back onto this one because I prefer this one that you can actually close for keeping them on. Okay, just talk amongst yourselves if you're getting bored, or go and grab some more laundry to fold, or grab yourself a cup of coffee or some glurk if it's after 5 o'clock in the evening where you are. Right, all of these I can keep. Okay, and I know you're probably standing there saying, Diane, why are you keeping so many of those hearts and stuff? Well, I will just now. Maybe I'll get rid of more next year. Right. Voila! Also makes a good bracelet at Christmas. So, all these ones are going. So that's a declutter. This is definitely not a declutter. Put it over here. Right, what else we got? So I'll keep those. Those I'll keep. Right, and here I have a little bit of ribbon that says "God Jul." Where we often tie these around the necks of bottles and things at Christmas, so hold on to that. And here I have odds and ends of candles, red candles, and these are actually, these actually came from my dearly departed Danish father-in-law's house, but I do like to kind of use them up from time to time, so I'll hold on to all those candles. Also, on the days that, you know, at weekends, if we're baking a lot in the kitchen and we're using these candles a lot, in order not to use up the whole one, what I often do is take out the one with the number, and then I'll just put a red candle in here. So I'm keeping the red candles. Right, on to the next thing. What else have we got in here? Oh, this is the rest of the linens. And I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I did a big declutter of all the linens that we're not using. I mean, really think about, are you using those linens? Or is it just a kind of, we've talked about this before, this kind of fantasy life of you're going to decorate the whole house and all the tables will be covered. And, you know, are you really going to do that? Or so the ones that I've kept are, I've got this one which has a kind of waxy coating. Now I've had this for years. This one I'll keep, and yeah, it may be a bit stained, but you can't really see it, and it's a really good dark background to have against you know, the red or the gold or the white on the table. So that one's definitely staying this year. I'm not going to be decluttering anything. This is one that I made. Yes, I'm so impatient, but I did this in cross stitch for my dearly departed Danish father-in-law. Here we are, and you can see when I did it. Christmas 1998, when we first came to Denmark. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Anyway, you'll see that on the table at various stages in the dining room. There we are, look. Pretty good. I can't actually believe that now, that I actually had the patience to, but I sat many nights making this. And this was before I had kids, I should add. And another one that we use here in the kitchen. This is a nice one. I love all the hearts. And I love cross stitch. I'm not into embroidery or stuff, but I really like the cross stitch stuff. So these are all being kept. And then I have a bag in here with all our Christmas serviettes. And I've stopped buying Christmas serviettes because I have so many of them that can be used up, or we've got cloth ones. So these, the individual, you know, ones where I've just like got 2 or 3 of the design. And I use those when we go down for our skinny dip, you know, my winter bather, we swim naked all year long. And after we've had our skinny dip, we have some and a hot cup of tea and some snacks that we've brought. And we're always trying to make it look a bit festive and cheery. So if I've got like 2 or 3, then that's what I use when I'm down there with Vibeke and Helena. So these ones I'll keep in the kitchen drawer, then I've got those ready to go. And the other ones, we're just trying to use them up, all these packets that we have. So I've stopped buying Christmas serviettes. Oh, and in here I've also got the ones for New Year, the more silver and white ones. So that's that. And then at the very end of the box, let me just grab, oh yeah, I've got a few bits of kind of plastic greenery. And that's what I use, you know, when I tie up like this hanging, I just use those, and that way they're not going to be drying out before Christmas. So that's what's in my Christmas box. I don't think there's anything else. No. Oh, just some red ribbon. And let me see what the time is. Oh, actually, there was one more thing that was in the Christmas box that I didn't mention. Was my cleaner. Now, and I get a lot of questions about this. You do not have to have the same cleaner as me. This is one, it's Maison Belle by Isabella Smith. It's a Danish thing. Oh, sorry, I just thought it was snowing outside. But it smells of, let me see, orange and cinnamon. And it just gives a really nice smell. And that's what I use, you know, when I just do a quick scoosh scoosh once I'm finished with my evening routine here. You have a quick scoosh scoosh, wipe it off, and that's me ready to go. So the one that I was using before, I put that in a bag and that's gone into the box. And again, once Christmas has passed, I'll put this back in the box because this one lasts for ages. I mean, it'll last me like 3 Christmases. And then I bring out the other cleaner. Right, okay, let me just see if I've forgotten anything else. Oh yeah, there was one last thing. I was going to tell you about the advent calendar that I got for my husband. You know, the kids got the chocolate one and also the scratch card one that I showed you about in a previous video. And this is one for tea. And there were, I think there are 24, and let me see, there's probably 25. Oh, if we can count the numbers. No, 24 sachets of tea, so you can try a different one every day. The only problem was that yesterday's one had a lot of licorice in it, and I said to my husband, okay, he could enjoy that on his own, because licorice, as I've said before, I love Denmark, love being in Denmark, but the only thing that I'm not keen about is the Danes' love for licorice. Anyway, this one we've hung up here in the kitchen, so it's quite nice to have a different cup of tea every day. So listen, just a wee word of encouragement. Just set your time for 10 or 15 minutes. Just get into the mood gently. You know, maybe light a candle, have a cup of Christmas tea or a cup of Christmas coffee. And if you find anything while you're going along that you're not going to use, please pass it on to somebody else who's going to love it this Christmas. So on that note, I'm going to finish hanging up my things in here and get my tea towels put into the drawer, and that will be me done. So anyway, all I've got left to say is live long and prosper. Hope you have a great Tuesday. I won't see you tomorrow, but I'll probably see you on Thursday. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, I'll be on Instagram. Okay, bye for now.